Hi everyone and welcome back to Aquinas Tuition's RUAE National 5 course. Today we are going to be doing link questions together. Link questions then. They ask you to identify how a writer uses specific sentences to connect their piece of writing together, and they often signal a development of a previous idea. The writer often uses a link sentence as a bridge to develop the previous idea further or consider it from a different perspective. At National 5, the linking sentence they ask you to comment on will connect 2 points together that are very close to each other in the article, for example, 2 consecutive paragraphs or sometimes even within the same paragraph. I actually don't really want to do that. I'm going to just start again. Hi everyone! Welcome to Aquinas Tuition's YouTube channel. Today we are doing another tutorial for National 5 RUAE and we're going to be focusing on link questions. So we need to first of all think about what link questions are. Well, link questions essentially ask you to look at link sentences, and these sentences are sentences often at the beginning of a paragraph which link a previous paragraph or an idea in a previous paragraph to an idea in the next paragraph. Essentially, that's what link sentences are. So the questions essentially ask you to identify how a writer uses the specific link sentence to connect their piece of writing together. They often signal a development of a previous idea, and the writer uses this link sentence as a bridge to develop the previous idea or consider it from a different perspective. At National 5, the linking sentence they ask you to comment on will connect 2 points together that are very close, and that's important to remember, to each other in the article. So they're not going to give you a link sentence and ask you to link something from the very beginning to the very end. They're going to ask you how ideas are linked in very close connection to that link sentence. So often the link sentence is between 2 consecutive paragraphs. Sometimes it can even be within the same paragraph. They will always identify for you what the link sentence is by referring to specific line numbers. So you will never be able to... They will always identify for you what the link sentence is by referring to specific line numbers. You won't ever be asked to actually identify what the link sentence is. Just something to be aware of there. So, what do link questions actually look like at National 5? This one is from the 2025 RUAE paper, which was about Taylor Swift. The question reads like this. Look at line 13. I didn't feel I was getting anywhere. Then came Taylor. So they actually even write out what the sentence is within the question for you, which is really helpful. By referring to any part of this sentence, explain how... I'm going to have to go back to the beginning of this one. Come on. So, what do link questions look like at National 5? This one I have taken from the 2025 RUAE paper, which is about Taylor Swift. Look at line 13. I didn't feel I was getting anywhere. Then came Taylor. By referring to any part of this sentence, explain how it helps to provide a link between the writer's ideas at this point in the passage. What's really nice about the way they phrase it at National 5 is that they actually write out what the link sentence is within the question. So it's not like you can go and choose the wrong sentence, for instance, because you've misread it slightly. They literally give it to you, so that's really nice. Another key thing to pick up on, which I'm going to go over in further detail very shortly, is they're saying by referring to any part of this sentence, explain how it helps to provide a link between the writer's ideas at this point in the passage. So the any part is important because it's not asking you to necessarily deal with the entire sentence, that it's asking you to deal with part of the sentence. And I'll show you how you do that when you structure your answer very shortly. Also, it's emphasizing to you, only look at this point in the passage. How does this link sentence connect the writer's ideas at this point? So if you're going further afield from that specific point in the passage, then you're doing it wrong. Sometimes link questions can also be phrased as connects the writer's argument, or develops the writer's point, or furthers the writer's ideas. So for instance, it could say, by referring to any part of this sentence, explain how it connects the writer's argument, or it develops the writer's point, or it furthers the writer's ideas. So just be aware that any of those types of phrasing basically signal a link. Okay, so how to answer. It's a very simple method. I actually really like link questions. I think that they are very easy to get the marks on, and you basically just have to remember this method, and if you apply that, then you'll be absolutely fine. There's usually one link question on the National 5 RUAE papers, so do make sure that you feel familiar with this. Here is the extract from the 2025 RUAE paper. Last December, I realised I hadn't written anything new since spring. I kept thinking about different characters and scenarios, but every time I sat down to write, I'd get distracted and end up putting nothing down on my taunting blank screen. Every idea felt ridiculous. I felt as though I'd said everything already. Every character, every name, every feeling, every possible setting and storyline. I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. Then came Taylor. My younger daughter Frankie had been listening to Taylor Swift non-stop, and she and my older daughter Gia wanted tickets to the Eras tour that summer. They promised if they were selected in the Taylor lottery, this could be their Christmas and birthday and Easter and whatever other special occasion gifts. So we said yes, and they were victorious, and all was right in the Taylor-loving universe. Okay, so what you have to do, first of all, is you have to highlight or underline the link sentence in the paper. Okay, so I am going to underline it as neatly as I possibly can. The reason why I get you to do this is because I essentially just think it basically zooms you in on where that link sentence is. A top tip of mine is just take highlighters into the exam or different coloured pens into the exam with you, because it's really useful for picking up quotes or focusing on different sentence structures. It's just worth it for English. Okay, so first thing, always highlight or underline the link sentence in the paper. So obviously this is the question that I showed you on the previous slide. How does that sentence that I've just underlined form a link at this point in the passage? First step is that we then have to identify which part of that sentence links back to an idea the previous writer has dealt with. After you've highlighted it, then what you need to do is you need to identify which part of that sentence links back to an idea the writer has dealt with previously. And I've said again that you won't need to look farther than the surrounding sentences or the previous paragraph. So what we need to do is we need to bracket which part of this sentence links back to the writer's previous idea. So in that previous paragraph, we're basically finding out that the writer is suffering from writer's block. They're really struggling. They don't know what it is that they're going to be writing about next. They're just finding it really difficult. So clearly, this first half of the sentence links back to the ideas in that part of the extract. Next, what you have to do is exactly the same for the part that links forward. So this next paragraph is actually about Taylor Swift, isn't it? And in this part of the link sentence, he deals with Taylor Swift. So that part links forward. So I'm going to put LB, label it, LB, and then I'm going to put LF. Okay, really nice and clear. The reason why you should label it is that as you come to write your answer, it's just really nice and clear for you, okay? Then what you need to do in your answer is you need to put down 2 bullet points. Your first bullet point, you need to quote the part of the sentence that links back. So you're going to quote this bit, I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. And then you are going to summarise in your own words what idea it links back to. So I've said here, I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. Obviously, that's the link back. Links back to the previous paragraph where the writer explains the challenges he was having with writer's block. Very clear. I've basically summarised the key idea that part of the link sentence links back to in my own words. Is that he's suffering with writer's block. You do exactly the same for the second bullet point, which deals with the link forward. Then came Taylor, links forward to his introduction to Taylor Swift due to his daughter's obsession with a star. Really nice and easy. So all you need to remember is that you do 2 bullet points, link back to that idea in your own words, link forward to the next idea in your own words. Simple. Let's have another go. Technology has transformed the modern workplace. Employees can now work remotely. Let's have a go at another question. Technology has transformed the modern workplace. Employees can now work remotely, collaborate online, and access information instantly, increasing flexibility and efficiency. While these technological developments have improved productivity, they have also introduced new challenges for workers. Many employees feel pressured to be constantly available, leading to longer working hours and increased stress. Employers must now consider how to protect staff well-being in a digital age. Explain how the link sentence acts as a link in the writer's argument. So the link sentence is obviously this thing in bold here. So first of all, let's identify which part links back and which part links forward. So obviously this first little paragraph is talking about the positives of technological development. So these technological developments obviously links back. Yeah. So LB. And then this one is about challenge. Here we go. Introduced new challenges. Links forward. Brill. So, answer then. Technological developments links back to the previous paragraph where the writer explains the variety of different ways technology has allowed employees further freedom and productivity. So I've quoted the part of the link sentence that links back, and in my own words I've summarised what that previous paragraph was about. Introduce new challenges links forward to the next paragraph where the writer lists the difficulties technology has introduced to the way many work, for instance, higher levels of anxiety, pressure, and longer working days, which are not good for happiness and health. Really nice, clear, and developed answers. Now, one thing that you might have noticed in this one is that I've actually just picked out like part of the link sentence. I haven't, for instance, taken it from while these chosen while these technological developments have improved productivity, because that's just a waste. While these doesn't really need to be in there. The point of it is the technological developments, okay? So just find the part of it, literally the key words that form the link back and the key words that form the link forward. And again, I haven't gone from they have also introduced new challenges for workers. I've just done introduce new challenges. Really, really nice and precise. And the mark scheme will award you for that. So I want you to have a go now. Have a read of that extract and then have a go at the question following the formula that I have just taught you. Right, let's have a little look at your answer. So these benefits links back to the previous paragraph where the writer explains the variety of ways language learning opens up opportunities for many. Very clear. Not always straightforward. Links forward to the next paragraph where the writer highlights multiple difficulties learners can face when attempting to learn a second language. One thing that I do want to draw your attention to is that although in many cases the link back often happens in the first part of the link sentence and the link forward happens in the second part of the sentence, sometimes that isn't the case. So just be really, really careful when you read that link sentence and just double, triple check that the first part of the sentence definitely links back and the second part of the sentence definitely links forward. Sometimes in the RUAE paper, they actually do a little bit of a tricky link sentence, and it might be that the first part of the link sentence links forward and the second part links back. So just be really, really careful and double check that. In our resource for link, I have made sure to include at least one in the RUAE resource that we have created for link, we have made sure to include at least one link sentence which isn't a perfect link back. First part of the sentence, link forward, second part of the sentence. So that will be a good test for you. So that is the end of our link sentences and link questions tutorial. I hope that has helped you. As always, head over to our website. You can download our free resources on link questions. You're welcome to comment if you've got any questions. One of us will come back to you, or you can email us if you are interested in tutoring or you have any questions. Again, well done everybody, and we will see you next week.